On the night of the 19th of January, 1990, the lights of Baku flickered under the shadow of tanks, and a city by the Caspian Sea held its breath as history turned violent. In the late 1980s, the Soviet Union was weakening under economic crisis and political reform. Across its republics, long-suppressed national identities were reawakening. In Azerbaijan, mass demonstrations filled the streets of Baku. Thousands gathered in Azadlık Square, demanding sovereignty, protesting corruption, and expressing outrage over tensions in Nagorno-Karabakh. The red Soviet flag still flew over government buildings, but in the hearts of many Azerbaijanis, the idea of independence was no longer a dream, it was a demand. Moscow saw the growing movement as a threat. Under the leadership of Mikhail Gorbachev, the Soviet government had introduced reforms known as glasnost and perestroika. Yet when unrest spread beyond control, the Kremlin resorted to force. On January 19, Soviet authorities declared a state of emergency in Baku, but crucially, they did not inform the population in advance. That same evening, Soviet special forces blew up the Azerbaijani state television power unit, plunging the city into an information blackout. Rumors replaced news. Fear replaced certainty. Shortly after midnight on January 20, approximately 26,000 Soviet troops entered Baku. Armored vehicles rolled through the streets. Tanks crushed cars and barricades alike. Soldiers fired into crowds that had gathered in defiance or confusion. Some victims were shot while trying to help the wounded. Ambulances were reportedly targeted. Apartment windows shattered as bullets pierced residential buildings. The sound of gunfire echoed along the Caspian coast until dawn. By official counts, more than 130 civilians were killed and hundreds wounded, though some Azerbaijani sources place the death toll higher. The victims included men and women, elderly citizens, students, and even children. They were not armed insurgents. Many were ordinary residents caught in a sudden storm of violence. For the people of Azerbaijan, this night would forever be known as Black January. One of the most powerful responses came from Haydar Aliyev, who at the time was in Moscow. In a bold public statement at the Azerbaijani Representation Office, he condemned the Soviet military intervention, calling it illegal and a violation of human rights. His words resonated deeply with Azerbaijanis, many of whom saw the crackdown not as a restoration of order, but as an assault on their national dignity. Instead of crushing the independence movement, the violence intensified it. The funerals of the victims turned into massive demonstrations of unity. Tens of thousands marched silently through Baku, carrying coffins draped in black, and the Azerbaijani tricolor flag, which had been banned during much of the Soviet era. The Martyrs' Alley Cemetery overlooking the Caspian Sea became the resting place of those killed, a solemn reminder that freedom had demanded blood. Internationally, reactions were cautious. The world was watching the Cold War thaw, the fall of the Berlin Wall, and the rapid transformation of Eastern Europe. Yet in Baku, the Soviet Union had shown that it was still willing to use force to maintain control. The contradiction was stark. Reforms on paper, repression in practice. Black January became a turning point. Less than 2 years later, in October 1991, Azerbaijan formally declared independence as the Soviet Union collapsed. For many citizens, January 20 was the emotional breaking point, the moment when trust in Moscow irreversibly shattered. The tragedy unified diverse political groups under a shared conviction that Azerbaijan's future could no longer be decided from afar. Today, every year on January 20, the people of Azerbaijan observe a day of mourning. Sirens sound at noon. Traffic stops. Citizens walk to Martyrs' Alley with red carnations, honoring those who died. What began as a night of terror has become a symbol of resilience. Black January is remembered not only as a massacre, but as the spark that strengthened a nation's resolve to stand on its own. In the darkness of that winter night, amid gunfire and grief, something irreversible was born. The Soviet Union would soon disappear from the map. Azerbaijan would emerge as an independent state, and the memory of the 20th of January 1990 would endure not just as a tragedy, but as the night that ignited freedom